everybody's upset.
This is what happens to Arsenal a lot, where a foul happens and everyone looks at the ref like, we're going to argue this now.
Right.
Meanwhile, they're all, how come we didn't stop playing?
Okay, let's look at the MLS standings real quick. Philadelphia Union, we've been talking about...
They're bodying even more. Are they... I'm willing to say that I don't think I've seen a team shift to another gear the same way I've seen Philadelphia do it these last few weeks. I know last week we went over their last few wins, but they're doing it again and again and again.
Yeah.
They are turning it on at a level I don't think, who's it? How? Where is this coming from?
Jim Curtin also 2 weeks in a row, Coach of the Week. He has this team truly bought in. We've been saying it week after week, and we a couple weeks ago we were just talking about how LAFC is this dominant team and they can't be stopped. But it's really looking like Philadelphia Union are going to win the Supporters Shield. When we thought LAFC had it just on lock, LAFC actually lost their match against Dallas in somewhat embarrassing fashion because Franco Escobar, the right back for LAFC, is I guess I don't know who he fouled, but he fouled a Dallas player, and Paul Arriola, being high IQ, check out our episode with Paul Arriola if you have not, but there's the high IQ homie went up and Escobar is upset, arguing with the referee.
He takes his eyes off the play.
Yeah, well, he picks up the ball.
And he kind of flips it behind him,
and
thinking,
he just kind of places
that'll give me a little bit of time to yell at the ref.
Right, no.
Not knowing Paul Arriola is like right there. He basically passed it to Paul Arriola, who puts it down.
He did like a and one, just like back pass.
He hit him with a no look.
No look. I think like Jason Williams.
I believe it was considered an assist if this was a pickup game.
My man hit him with the cross, the back.
Damn.
Boom. I'm like, yo, this guy got skills.
I CP3. You might want to chill, bro.
My man, white chocolate coming through.
Chill.
So he drops the ball, and Paul Arriola, instead of he's like, I'm not interested in this riffraff.
We don't do all this talk.
All this mess. I'm not getting involved.
You know what you guys argue? I'm going to just sit here, and I think I'm going to take a shot on the goal real quick.
No, so he passes it.
He crosses it.
He passes it immediately to Jesus Ferreira.
Oh, who runs down the sideline. That's what it was, yeah.
And go, and the goalkeeper was just like, I didn't even know the game had even started.
Right.
And everybody's upset.
This is what happens to Arsenal a lot, where a foul happens and everyone looks at the ref like, we're going to argue this now.
Right.
Meanwhile, they're all, how come we didn't stop playing? Remember when I thought you guys were going to argue with us too.
Yeah, but a really, really smart play. I believe it tied the game, and then they ended up getting the game winner. But it was I mean, when we're talking about, the winning a Supporters Shield, I mean, this is a game. Clearly, I think if that play doesn't happen, I think LAFC probably wins this game. But the fact that they lose in that fashion is somewhat concerning and definitely exciting for Philadelphia Union fans,
who are now in the lead for Supporters Shield.
Right, and where and it was LAFC had a game in hand. And I think they have only one game in hand right now. But I don't see. I don't see the Union dropping this lead.
So I pose this. Well, hold on. Before we say that, let's look at their schedule, and we can decide together whether we think they are going to drop points. So I hate the way MLS does their schedule, by the way. It shows up not with the next match, but like the matches that have already happened. The next one's against Atlanta. So if I were them, I would serve rice and chicken before the match and forget plates. Just put it on the floor.
I forgot to mention this before, but there's something you talk about, throwing rice, just especially rice, but throwing food on the floor is bad. But when you see rice on the ground, there's something about it that hurts in a different way.
No, dude, that's what I'm talking about. I think it's an act of war in some countries.
We were talking real quick about the Philadelphia Union and their desires to win the So
look, they're playing
Shield.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
At home in Atlanta. Philly's got to go on the road.
They are not home in Atlanta. That is away.
Atlanta's home.
Atlanta's home. And you said at home.
Atlanta is home in Atlanta.
Got it.
So Philly's got to go away to Atlanta. I think they take 3 points easily.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think they're beating Charlotte.
They stay away in Charlotte. They take 3 points. They go to Toronto. It could be a tough one for them.
Look, so it feels like they will win out.
I'm sorry. They go home. Toronto goes to Philly.
And Toronto desperately needs some wins because
I could see that going Toronto's way.
Possible, but given Toronto's losing games that they should win, especially that I think that loss to Montreal was heartbreaking.
Gotta be, but Montreal is on another level.
Yeah. So it really feels like Philadelphia Union are going to win out. And
oh no, wait, Toronto's way out of the playoffs.
But they're not mathematically out. That's all.
Not mathematically out.
Yeah.
Only DC is
6-7 points
DC.
out. 8 points out.
Yeah, they're not gonna. What's their next to? I'm trying to figure out when they go to Philly, will that be a make or break game? I'm under the impression it may be.
Every single game. They have 3 games remaining. Yeah.
But I mean, if they win the next 2, then that becomes an important match to win.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah.
But let's see if they're going to win the next 2.
They are
Orlando and Miami. I could see them winning those 2.
Possible. We should talk about Orlando. I wanted to mention this earlier, but Orlando won U.S. Open Cup. First trophy for Orlando.
Our friend Freddie Alacon hit the jersey button on his Twitter. Did you see it? He was like, "Suck it! You can't tell me nothing."
The New Jersey button.
Yeah. He hit the "Y'all from Jersey" button.
But no, we gotta give a shout to Orlando City. They beat Sacramento Republic. Sacramento held on as long as they could. They lost. They ended up losing 3-0. But the first goal came in like something like almost the 80th minute, and it was. I think a proud and brave showing for Sacramento,
and for them to reach the final, being a non-top flight team, I think is an important step for the USL. I think we don't talk about lower leagues enough, and those of you who are fans of us and love a lower league team, it's hard to kind of assess where you are as a lower league club, because there really is no promise of moving up. And I've said this before and I'll say it again, they shouldn't be doing it themselves. Within the USL system, there should be promotion and relegation. I think it would add a thing to there. It would add a level of, this is something we have that no one else has. Sure. That I think would be really fun. And I think the fans, it may even garner more fans. You may even start to see fans of both an MLS and a lower league club at the same time. But that said, it's really hard to rate what USL clubs mean in the overall landscape because of the lack of promotion and relegation. But we know that there are some ardent fan bases, obviously Detroit.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say
Louisville.
I wouldn't say the question is like we don't know what it sort of means in the larger landscape, because
internationally it's not. Oh, and I understand MLS just got to this level, but how long before USL clubs are able to bring in big international names?
No, but if you compare it to as far as like fanfare and support, as a commodity, it's not the same. But I think the value in it, at least for American soccer.
Oh no, absolutely, and for the communities they're in.
No, but the value in it for American soccer, as far as like the larger landscape, is to me development. There's a overspill of an overflow of talented players that are just not good enough for MLS,
or are overlooked by MLS.
Possible, right?
Which is not everyone, but a lot.
Those players that can't, that are just beneath the quality of MLS, should have some place to play and still be professional athletes.
I'm not sitting here saying it's not necessary or we don't need it. I love it. I wish there were more USL and lower league clubs, and I think every town in America should have at least even possibly 2 if there's enough of an audience or enough of a population, 2 clubs, whether they be top flight or not. No, I think it's important, but it's hard to see where does it fit in the overall landscape. I could see an important player going to a championship club, like when Marcelo Bielsa went there. Yes. Like as a manager, right? Because the promise is Rafa Benitez when he stuck around. I can see someone of importance going to one of those clubs and saying, I can rebuild my career here and move up. When Jack Harrison went to Leeds, as an example, he went there with this promise of, I want to help this club move up. Hopefully that leads to me getting a bigger transfer, or this club becomes a place where I can continue my career because I want to be in the Premier League, or potentially I want to play in Europe. Those types of things, right? It's hard to say where does USL Championship or USL League One fit in that conversation.
Because it's not the same. The teams don't get promoted or relegated, but players can get promoted.
Yes,
or
players.
relegated.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's
the point of me. I'm saying is it's hard to rate like where does this fit. But when you look at why these teams have the fan bases, those that are doing well have the fan bases they do, why the people support them the way they do, and why it's important to have them, it's because of these types of runs. And these types of runs, like what Sacramento Republic did, remind you that there's incredible football being played or incredible soccer being played just below what you're watching.